Being a designer, everything is about a visual. So I guess I'm really driven by my whole visual environment. I remember when I was a kid, I actually thanked my parents for looking after me because I knew that I was mistakenly taken from the royal family, and I told them that when they do find me, I would make sure that they were looked after for the rest of their life. That's the kind of kid I was. I was born in Newfoundland, a place that I'm very proud of because it's an absolutely magical, wonderful place. When I was about 5 or 6, we moved to northern Manitoba. So I lived in the far north with polar bears walking around for 4 years. Then we moved back east, but instead of going to Newfoundland, we moved to Nova Scotia. And then I moved back to Newfoundland for a little while and then moved to Montreal. I was coming here to study for 3 years and I never left. I think that I was a designer before I went to design school. Design school was absolutely the best thing ever because it elevated what I needed to know. And then from there, it was just, I never say I'm lucky because I'm not a lucky person. I'm a fortunate person. I'm a fortunate person that I had a nice family and I got to go to school and I was fortunate that I had support around me. So basically 25 years ago, I worked in the corner of my apartment. Then a few years later, started with 1 employee. And here we are 25 years later with a really talented group of about 12 people in 5,000 square feet. And we work in Montreal, Toronto, the Eastern Townships, up north. We work in Palm Beach. We just finished, I love saying this because we just finished an apartment on Park Avenue in New York, which always sounds so great. So, I've been fortunate to not just have the right people support me, but I've also been really fortunate of getting the right clients. And it's always been that. Basically, word of mouth means everything. Normally we design houses. So, you have your living room, kitchen, bedrooms, office, gym, gift wrapping room, and every once in a while there's another thing thrown in. For example, we did this wonderful house in Eastern Canada and she wanted an indoor swimming pool. And then she said, I think I want the pool to be Olympic size, basically in size. And we're like, okay. And then she said, I also want to be able to drink the water in the pool that I swim in. So I'm kind of thinking, wow, okay, we can't really have a full supply of Evian water. So we worked with a company that came up, so we left them with all the mechanics of doing that, which they succeeded. And then here we are with this humongous space, and we have to think about how that's going to relate to the house. And we came up with this beautiful arabesque design, which kind of related to the wrought iron staircase that has to then be translated into a glass mosaic tile, which has to be made in Italy in panels of 1 foot by 1 foot and then shipped to St. John's, Newfoundland, which is a fairly remote part of Canada, and then get installed. That house actually presented a few challenges. We've all seen those beautiful carved marble bathtubs. Well, this client insisted that she has a carved marble bathtub. The Italians carved the tub. The tub had to be brought to Canada, and the tub had to be craned into the house while it's under construction because you can't carry this up the staircase and put it in the bathroom. So yeah, we've had some fun challenges. And we actually got it done. Our house in Knowlton, which is a really special house because it was built as like a Normandy-style chateau. We found this house and then we just had to have it. That particular house sits on a hill with a magnificent view of Lac Brome. And then you're in the living room and the best view is a wall. And my husband's saying, the only thing I'm not crazy about is the living room. I love the shape and the size of it, but I don't know. And I said, watch. And I drew a 10 foot by 10 foot square on that wall. And I showed him, because I had taken a picture of what's behind the wall. I'm like, now if this is it, and you walk into that house and the room is spectacular. My approach to my clients, the first thing is listen, listen, listen. It's know your client. We tailor spaces for people. So that person has to function in that space and they have to feel comfortable in that space. And it has to look like their space. So I think the first thing is really understanding your client. Generally, people say my work is very good, it's very fine, very good quality. When I go and meet somebody, I give them a realistic budget and I give them a realistic price of what we'll charge. I sometimes don't get work because I'm too honest. That's fine, you know. But the projects that we get, my clients are extremely happy. And that's what's important. When I finished design school, people in Montreal were very traditional at that time. And so I was kind of ready to, and I couldn't really express my personal style or my approach as much then because of course you need work, right? So more and more you get to kind of say who you are as a designer, and people also recognize that and come to you for that. And it's really cool. And it's really cool to do something that 25 years later, you have no desire to retire, and you have no desire to do anything but just get better at what you do. You know, most well-known designers, they don't retire, they just at some point die, you know? And so that's where I'm at, you know? What would be my next dream project? A really amazing hotel. Somewhere between London and on the beach in Mykonos, I don't know.